Mortgage rates this month have hit a level that they weren't at since 2023. This has impacted everybody's housing market, especially Atlanta. In this video, we're going to deep dive into rates from 2023 as compared to today, as well as do a simple market update on how these rates have started to impact the Atlanta housing market. And as promised, I'm going to get into the data. For the people who are new to the channel, we're going to start with the mortgage rates. For the people who aren't so new to the channel, we're going to get the specific Atlanta housing market update at the end of the video. But you guys like money. We're going to talk about money. If you take a look at this chart, it's going to show you guys that in 2024 we hit a peak. That peak, we were almost at 8% mortgage rates. Right now, we are at a point where we haven't seen since 2023. We can see here in the chart, it's saying we're at about 6.5% because right now this is the low. That hasn't been seen since about 2023. So that could put us at about 6.5%. You see 7, you see 6. Hey, we're covering the data, but what does this mean? So we're gonna go look at the incremental differences that can be seen in the numbers, and then I'm gonna tell you the real truth on why this is impressive. So mortgage rates fall to the lowest that they've been since May 2023. Refinances have surged 16%. That tells you that 16% of people at least, right, saw that it was a good idea to get their interest rate to around 6.5%. Average rate for a 5-1 adjustable rate mortgage fell below 6%. Wow. So even if you took a look at just that chart, you'd be a little confused. How did people get below 6%? Well, we'll talk about that in a second. So looking at this nitty gritty, the averages are not going to show exactly what everybody's getting. This chart, it's going to show averages, right? So when we get into these details, 6.55%, that's what an average person is going to get. Average means you're coming in, you probably have a 620 credit score, maybe even a 600 credit score. These are going to be for maybe even a conventional loan, right? 6.55 down from 6.82. These are expensive homes too. The data that people are using are on expensive homes, guys. This is crazy. This is good news for people buying first-time homes because $350,000 homes, $300,000 homes, they just became more affordable again. And you need to think about this, right? Think about it. So the rate for jumbo loans, that's for people who are balling, right? People who are typically going over the 766,000. That's down 6.77 from 7. Still seems unimpressive. How do we get from there to 6? How do we get there, right? So let's keep looking. So FHA Housing Administration, that's an FHA loan what a lot of first-time home buyers are going to use, and a lot of people relocating with me and my team are going to end up using to get the best bang with the current day and age, right? 6.49%, down from 6.69%. Wow, we're at 6.5%, as we mentioned when we look at the chart, around 6.5%. I know, I just smidged. So 6.5%, last seen in 2023, kind of right now. Okay, well, again, how do I get from 6.49 down to 6%? Well, what's even crazier is you can get from that number, when it's not an average, all the way down to say 5% with FHA, 4.9% with buy downs and lender credits and creative financing and the way that the programs are going. So right now is one of the best times to get away with still using these programs because these programs are going to be gone. Once these interest rates are lower and you guys have no excuse on why you're waiting, they're going to get rid of these programs. The Georgia Dream program, the home incentive, hometown hero incentives, extra $2,000 for people in law enforcement and teaching, those kind of incentives, they're going to just go away. They're going to just go away again like they went away during COVID because they weren't very helpful. There were some incentives, but not as much as there are right now. There's 1% down programs right now, guys. And they'll grant you the 2% difference. I know you guys are about to say, well, your mortgage is gonna be higher. No, they grant you the 2% difference. It's free money. Crazy. Reach out to me if you're moving to Atlanta, Georgia, or anywhere in North Carolina, Florida. We have you guys covered, don't worry. So we're gonna take a look at the 15-year. It's down to 6.03%. Adjustable rate mortgages are down to 5.9%. That's crazy, guys. These rates are getting really normal, but I'm telling you, if you talk to a lender firsthand, you're gonna be shocked because you're gonna end up getting rates closer to 5.5%. We just had a client, they went and looked at Meritage new construction properties. They offered 4.9%, 4.99%, that's 5% flat on their properties that you buy right now. That's crazy. This is advertising an average 6.7, 6.49. These are averages. You can get 4.9%, guys. You can buy a $300,000 house and make it $2,100 a month again. It's not the best, but it's reasonable for you to be able to own a property versus rent a property and take control of your environment. Perfect. And how is this affecting Atlanta? Let's get into it. So if you guys just stayed for the mortgage rates, thank you for coming. Subscribe to the channel, check out the other content. We do home tours, updates like that, and we talk about Atlanta because Atlanta's housing market honestly is finally cooling off. This is asking, I'll tell you guys firsthand, it's cooling off. Got an offer accepted, $20,000 under asking price, no problem. The person was really reasonable with the repairs that needed to be made. We made the deal happen. We are seeing a lot more inventory. There's a lot more programs. There was a house, it's a Affordable Housing Administration project going on in Lawrenceville. The houses are $350,000. You got to make only around $65,000 for a single household. So there's programs out here trying to get people into these high demand areas. This just came out August 6th, not long ago. Nobody commented. Maybe we will, probably won't. So that being said, things are noticeably different. This is some MLS data. One of the more telling bar graphs released, it says active listings across the 12 counties versus this last year, right? So we have a lot more listings, guys. There's a lot more options to choose from, which is fantastic. They're not like the greatest. They need elbow grease. A lot of these homes are in need of some TLC, so get your hands on them and be prepared to put a little sweat equity to get what you want in the location that you want. These new constructions, they're kind of popping up a little bit too fast for some people's preference. They are still very high quality products. You guys are getting that 1-year warranty. They're coming in, they're doing the blue tape review. You guys got to get an inspection. You got to get the pre-stud inspection. You got to get the post-stud inspection. You got to not cheap out on yourself when you buy a house. But that's just, I digress as always. So comment down below if you guys would prefer new construction or if you like the old bones on a property. I like the old bones, but I certainly don't discriminate against the new constructions. A lot of people relocating, they're choosing the new constructions, and we happily help you. Go over to the description for my contact information, and you can just fill out an info form. We'll reach out to you, we being me or a member of my team. So I love Redfin. If you guys haven't watched the other videos, I love Redfin because it's a resource that you can all use that gets very detailed and breaks things down into words that you can understand. So the Atlanta, Georgia housing market. This Atlanta housing market is somewhat competitive. Homes in Atlanta receive 2 offers on average and sell in around 44 days. Very blatant, very obvious. We could have looked at a lot of graphs. You guys now get the point. Median sales price of a home, $434K. Last month, that's up 4.7% since last year. The median sales price per square foot in Atlanta is $285. The median, look at this, this is median. We were talking about averages. Medians are far stronger of a number for your data points. I don't care how silly that sounds. It's not silly. When we're talking about real estate, a lot of agents use averages. They price their houses on averages. Price your houses on median. Price your data on median. It's gonna give you guys a more accurate example of the data set, in my personal opinion. If you guys know anything about stats and you agree, feel free to drop that down below. But this is the median. So if you're getting a house lower than this, good for you. If you're getting a house at this value similar, good for you. If you're getting over, not so good for you. And we're in a cold market, so things are kind of pulling back or staying stagnant. Don't pay too much more, just don't. Now, there are certain situations where the agents are really evil and they price the house to sell, and we're getting bidding wars again. That means it's still gonna sell over asking. It doesn't mean that it was still selling over what it's worth. The person probably ran their numbers, they understood what it was worth, and they have equity. Maybe just a little bit, but not much at all. So we're taking a look at the median sales price, $434,000. Number of homes sold, it's actually down. So those interest rates finally hit home. This is what the Fed wanted to see, 16.1% year over year. going down. Median days on home, up. That's a good thing. That means we're slowing down. School is going back in session. Not as many people moved this summer. Even my appraisal buddies were saying they haven't gotten nearly as much work this summer. It's just how it is. I'm happy that we get deals coming in and people are still moving, but we're counseling people, helping people understand that it's not a bad thing to always wait. If you're waiting, go ahead and comment down below. It's okay. We'll support you here. It's like Housing Anonymous. Just comment down below and we'll hear your story. I'm sorry, that was rude. If you're an AA, I apologize. It's totally okay. So how hot is the Atlanta market? It's a 48. It's right there in the middle. Some people are still coming. Some people are going. We've gotten a lot more expensive. We have a lot less people who can afford to be here. Somebody commented on my TikTok channel and said, if you're coming to Atlanta and you don't have a plan, that's the wrong move because you will become homeless real quick. I thought that was pretty sincere. So let's see where people are moving from. From New York still, because you guys can handle this. From Los Angeles, because you can handle this. From Washington, D.C., because you can handle this. And this is still California. Again, Los Angeles, San Francisco, you can handle this. Miami, you guys have been getting waxed on the weather. So people are leaving Atlanta for Macon. Macon has terrible schools. If you can deal with terrible schools, you can deal with Macon. Chattanooga, that is a very great sister city. Savannah, if you can move and deal with more flooding, a little bit slower pace, less cultural diversity, Savannah, Georgia, and terrible food. I don't like Savannah's food. It's low, it's high price, low quality. Maybe the ingredients are decent quality, but seasoning, carry salt with you when you go down to Savannah, Georgia. I'll tell you that. So Jacksonville, Florida, okay, good pricing, and Greenville, South Carolina. So if you've watched the other videos, not too much has changed as far as where people are coming from. We can take a little look into the recently sold homes in the area. People bought an $800,000 brick. This is 2,500 square feet. This thing is a little less boxy. People bought a condo. These are good areas to live in, guys. Homestead Avenue, 30306. These things are going to be closer to Buckhead and centralized things like that. So that's what you get, guys. A lot of these are not going to be in the hood zip codes is what I'm seeing. They're pushing up the price points. But most of Atlanta is not hood, guys. I have to explain that to people on the day-to-day. We can take a look at the map together. Let's see where I would define as scary and concerning in Atlanta. Bankhead, this area. This is the area that is constantly in a state of gentrification. It's a place that people are now moving. You're seeing $450,000 houses. This is a $175,000 house that's sold. So if you're wanting a good deal, this is what you can expect to get. Ultimately, that is this week's housing market update. If you guys enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. It keeps me motivated to keep making things just like this for all of you. Again, I'm Connor Downey, your Atlanta real estate agent. If you're moving to Atlanta, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I take calls and texts and emails every single day from lovely people such as yourself. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys next time.